Hello everyone, and welcome to another Chess Lifestyle stream. Sorry for leaving this one so late, but alas, it is before midnight, so we can definitely count it as another day. So we are actually up to 2,312, which means we are up to 39 minutes of training today. So wait, I need to do an extra minute. Let me change this. Let's do it up to 10. No, okay. Anyway, how are you guys doing? As I'm like manically editing this. Basically, we are definitely into 39 minutes territory, which is cool. And today is a big day as well because this is the first day I've had a really big tilt on my online ratings, and it's been about time. Like, I think there are probably two factors that contributed towards this. One was that when I was really close to 2500 rapid, like when you're so close to a goal, you really lock in and you really focus and you really do everything you can to make sure you get the goal, right? So I think I didn't really have that with my blitz rating. And the second one was that I actually think that I just played some terrible chess. Like, let me show you one of. So many of the games were so bad. I think this one was. I was actually so pissed off. Yeah, like look at this position. Like I was completely lost. Like I literally blundered the queen for nothing or something, and my opponent messes it up completely. And I have this position, and I'm trying to hold on to this position, right? And here I played king g1, fine. Rook d1, but I was very scared of like black's plan of going g5, g4. So I wanted to get my rook to e4. So I played the move rook d4 with the idea that I want to try and get to rook e4, have everything solid, control this g4 break, and win this game. But of course, what's the problem with rook e5? Can anyone tell me in chat? And welcome, Yevgeny. Welcome to the stream. What's the problem with rook d4? And as soon as I played it was weird. Like I had the feeling it was a blunder, but I played it anyway, and I only calculated after playing it. So this is completely ridiculous, right? I almost thought you were cancelling today. No. We're never cancelling. We're never cancelling. I mean, at some point, I am going to be traveling abroad, and I'm just going to have to find a way to make this work. I don't know if, like, I can stream from my phone or something, or we'll work it out. But daily streams, guys. I ain't breaking this. But yeah, in this position, probably you guys have seen it. Simply just queen e1, king h2, and queen e5. And I want to die because my opponent has hardly any time as well. And I just couldn't believe I played this move. It's like, what I literally tell my students like 100 times, like in positions like this, don't put your rook and king like exposed on dark squares when you've got all these dark square weaknesses and there's a piece that can attack on the dark squares. It's just crazy. But in fairness, I'm just completely lost, right? Like this g4 push is just so strong. But yeah, like I can at least try not to blunder a rook in two moves. Yeah, exactly. Queen e1, queen e5. Great, Yevgeny. But yeah, one good news, one positive. I mean, despite like, having multiple terrible games that I lost, I would like to just showcase this game, which was, I had this very complicated position, and my opponent finally worked hard to win the pawn, but they were very low on time. So my position is slightly worse at this stage. And at this moment, I spotted a tactic. So what trick can we try? It's not forced or anything, but what trick can we play here? Like if we could play for a little trick because our opponent's low on time, well, what move would you play? So given that yesterday we did a lot of discovered attack puzzles, this is probably the first time I've ever like set up a discovered attack tactic, if you can believe it. Okay, probably not ever, but it's just like, yeah, in Blitz anyway, it's definitely not in my intuition. Obviously my conversion is absolutely terrible here because we were both just very low on time. But yeah, I just wanted to make moves that made sure I didn't lose like on the spot. And yeah, this was really dumb actually because I regained my rating back to 24-28, and I knew that I was having a bad day. I knew that like it was weird. Like I started off the day like feeling really positive about my chances to gain rating, and I actually won my first game. Like I won, and wait, where did I win? Oh no, I played a lot today. I played a lot. Yeah, we have to go on to the next page. Yeah, I won my first game, getting up to 24-38. And then, like, I just started playing so badly. Like, I think I got really tilted. Okay, I'll actually show you guys some trash talk. I was actually so pissed. you can see what I wrote. Also, I better start training soon. I'm procrastinating, I know. But yeah, my opponent started like stalling at this moment. So I just started to talk to him, but he never responded. And in the end, he did just checkmate me with 0.6 seconds. So fair play. But basically, I managed to play him again. And yeah, I'll actually show you the game because basically he played Joe Bava. And I found recently that I mean this London setup I've been doing with White with C3, like basically I don't have to worry about any Shigorin stuff because it just sucks because I just control this E5 break and the C3 pawn stops any knight before. So I've basically just been doing this reverse against Joe Bava and just having great games. And I felt like my position is completely fine here. And yeah, Engine says I'm minus 0.3. And then my opponent played G4. And I was like, wow, actually, this is kind of annoying. And then suddenly, I have no idea what A3 is. It's just, I mean, maybe it's not bishop B4, but it's just like really slow. And I just developed my bishop. And suddenly H4 comes. And I realized, I just kind of took this very quickly. And I suddenly realized after bishop takes, I was like, oh crap. Actually, my bishop wants to be on F8 so that I can play knight D7 and deal with this bishop. So yeah, I kind of panicked here and played this G5 move, which is clearly a mistake, and my opponent played it quite nicely and just completely exploited like the fact that, you know, I'm completely undeveloped and kind of screwed. So at this moment, what even am I supposed to play? Like I found a different remedy. Yeah, maybe some bishop D6, even bishop F8, can you believe it, to play knight D7, right? So I analyzed this game. I was pissed for losing this game and like allowing my opponent to do this, which I hadn't seen before. And I got the chance to play him again, right? Like after this analysis in the pool, like I got him again, and I got black again. So I was like, this time I'm gonna beat this guy because I realized that what I should do in this position is rather than play bishop e7, I should play knight d7. And the point is, after knight e5, now with my bishop still on f8, I can very calmly play knight d7. And now this is just a completely different story, right? There's no more g4, h4 kind of business. And he plays bishop d3 here. I decided to take it. But I didn't really like understand what was going on. Like I thought that the position is just like, yeah, I'm just doing fine. I've got this nice bishop with my pawns on light squares. And yeah, I didn't really pick up on the fact that actually, yeah, White's just got a minority attack. And this minority attack was actually really strong. And okay, Engine's actually saying I should play with a5. Interesting. So with these pawns like this, how does this affect this? Like, I feel like this is really useful to analyze for me at least. Yeah, let's see how I lost it. So I played bishop f6. Yeah, and I played for e5, which apparently just isn't the way. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm undoubling his pawns, and then he was able to play for d4 anyway. Oh, and I also thought at this moment maybe I should have pushed. But apparently this is not so good. Knight e4 is apparently strong. Wow, and this is no good? What? Am I not winning like a pawn or something? I guess it's not worth it. Or even take with the queen. How can this be better for white? Like, I've literally won a pawn. Ah, they take with check. Right. Hit the knight, and then they win the pawn back, and okay, my king is weak. Fair enough. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I thought I missed this chance to push d4, and now I can't push d4. And somehow my position just... Yeah, after this, maybe knight g6 was a terrible move, actually. Knight g6, because as soon as I play knight g6, then white can play d4 with no problem, right? If I keep my knight on e5, they can never play d4 because I've got knight c4, and then I just play b5 and I lock up and I'm doing great. So yeah, knight g6 was bad as well. So really, yeah, I should have understood that I'm just playing some very bad chess and I shouldn't be playing on. And I went all in for like some kind of kingside play, and of course it's just completely wrong. And this is kind of like the strength of the minority attack, if you probably forgot. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, basically I think at this moment already I can deal with this minority attack in some way. So let's follow this. If b5 here, wow, and a4 is -1. This is so strange to me. Like, what happens if they just take? Ah, okay, and this king's on e1, so I win the knight. And if they don't take, let's say they just castle or something, like, why is this so good for me? Queen a5 anyway? This is so weird. Ah, so I can win the pawn for free. So they'd have to take hitting my knight. And how is this? Ah, and the point is then I play c5. Ah, okay. So the minority attack isn't quite working here, because even though you isolate my pawn, normally this position would be without... It'd be like white would have one extra pawn here, I think, and these pawns might be gone, and then you've got lots of pressure on the c pawn. But here we're actually in time to play c5. Okay, yeah, I realize probably you guys aren't so interested in this analysis, but yeah, it's useful for me to see. Anyway, my point is, I got tilted because I lost to the same guy twice, and he's from the UK as well, so I feel even more like defensive of making sure I beat this guy, because, you know, like I've got to... I don't even know why like that came into my consideration. But yeah, really, I should have cut my losses so many times, and I just kept playing, and I was just playing bad. I was really playing bad. Like all of these wins, like against this guy, against the FM, against this guy, I was definitely worse in every game at some point, and I was just playing horrendous chess, really, really bad chess. But I just couldn't stop. And I think because I'm only at -24, I can afford to play one more game and see if I can make some remarkable comeback, which I will do probably after the stream ends. Because if you follow my recent video, I said -25 is the deal. You hit -25, it's all over. So we are 1 point away from having to quit. So we'll see. I might play a couple games later. But for the time being, I have recovered from my morning's losses, and we can do some training. So I think actually let's do a passed pawn exercise. Let's give the chess mood a break. Let's do a passed pawn exercise, and then we'll maybe continue with some puzzle streak. I think that would be nice. Oh, what am I doing? I'm actually so out of it. In fairness, no, I haven't been taking good care of myself today. So this is why, like, this is gonna be a rough stream. Oh wait, I forgot that. Wait, this one isn't like a real pass pawn video. So pass pawn exercise. Neither is this one, I think. Oh, let's see, I'm so out of it. I'm not even doing the pass pawns. I was like, why are these puzzles not got a pass pawn? Okay, I want pass pawn. There we go. This is the real deal. I mean, if you're new here, basically, if you want to train calculation, pass pawn tactics are just so difficult and so good for calculation training, because they're very difficult to navigate with intuition alone, at least for me. So it kind of forces you to calculate. So okay, it's black to play. Let's try and evaluate the position as always, and then let's try and find a move. Okay, guys. So what I wanted to say earlier when I said I wasn't taking care of myself today, I haven't had dinner, and I actually can't think. I'm too hungry, so I'm gonna do something very feral. Just wait up. Right, so I've kind of run out of food in my flat as well. Now, let me tell you the story of whatever this is. So, I had a friend stay over, and he stayed over for a few days, so like I bought him like some cereal and stuff, and he liked these like, I don't know, like cereal cookies or whatever. And yeah, I think they're a bit jank, so I haven't touched them. But desperate times. Welcome, Dave Rave. How's it going? By any chance, you're not David from UCL, right? Because I know that, I think his chess.com username was something like Dave the Rave or something. It'll be an interesting, it'll be cool if it was you, but if it's not, no problem as well. Welcome to the stream. I'm so hungry. But this is good practice for you. If you can calculate with all these distractions, then you'll be a beast. Oh man. What a depressing meal. Okay, so let me tell you what I understand about this position, and we'll see like how many aspects you guys got. So at very first glance, I mean, okay, material is exactly equal. But of course, with the fewer pieces, the actual activity of each of the piece then counts for way more, right? And the first thing you notice is that, like, wait a sec, this pawn is 2 squares away from queening. Black has 4 squares away from queening, and the rook is even blocking the pawn, right? So at first glance, it feels like there's no way that black will ever have a chance here. But then when you look a bit longer, you realize that, well, with passed pawns, the most ideal way to stop a passed pawn is to put the rook behind the passed pawn. And here you can see that black has very easy access to get behind the passed pawn, whereas white doesn't, right? So having said that, I still feel like white should have no problem in winning this, but maybe, just maybe, black has some chance, right? So I think what white would want to do next is to play rook d4 and like, okay, we should have some candidate moves here. So I think like our goal with this calculation will be like, can we find a way to draw? And I'm not going to check chat, even if it's a Dave the Rave reveal, just in case the answer is in chat and I don't want to see it yet. So, yeah, the goal I think will be to find a way to draw. I think winning is like extra ambitious, but maybe we can find a win. But, yeah. So, candidate moves include pushing the pawn, rook c7, and rook b7 check. I think any kind of king move is going to be way too slow. So it's going to be one of these three. So the most direct move is just to push the pawn, I think. So let's actually see what happens there. So probably it looks like pushing this pawn would be a good response. And I think, well, we'd have to stop the pawn. We could give a check, but the thing is the king will just like march over this way and then slowly approach the rook, and I don't think it'll be so effective. And yeah, I think the problem with putting so in this position, if queen and rook takes and push the pawn, I think that would be lost because just rook here, they push the pawn and rook here, and the rook stops the pawn. So I think pushing the pawn is too slow. So then actually, it then makes rook b7 look very enticing, because rook c7 kind of looks like the same deal. Like they push the pawn, you push the pawn, and it's just a transposition, right? But maybe if you can play rook b7, well then the king either has to block the pawn, which could be a crucial tempo, or they have to play king here, and that also loses the tempo, because when you push the pawn and white pushes, well then you can give a check. And maybe you gain a move there? Let's say the king moves here. You can push the pawn once more. They promote, you take, you can push the pawn once more. But the problem here is that white cannot get behind the pawn, but white can just play down to rook c8, and the king is way, way too far away to help assist this pawn. So it now makes me think, is there actually some reason to bring the king up, right? Like maybe it's slow, but maybe it's actually good. Like, you know, if we were to sack the rook for the pawn, then maybe if the king and pawn are like here, then this might be enough, right? So I still think check is going to be useful. I feel like it gains a move. And of course, gaining a move in a position like this is very big. So I think I can actually just play this check and be content that it has to help, even if I haven't calculated the resulting position. So I'll just very quickly consider, well, king b6 can always allow this move, right? So if I give a check and come here, let's say I push the pawn and the pawn pushes, maybe now I bring the king. And if queens, I take, rook takes, and I come king here. And I think white cannot just cut off my king, because I think the pawn is already too far. If everything is shifted one file back, then it works. But the king cutting off here, I think it doesn't work. I think black can just push and should be fine. Because when eventually like the white king will move somewhere and black pushes the pawn again, you can't like play this move and attack and get behind because it's too late. So I think that's all winning. I think that's the line. That feels like the most correct to me, and I can't see why that wouldn't be good. I thought this had to be it. Is the point that like I actually don't gain time with this move? And maybe I'm just basically attracting the king closer to this pawn? Is that the problem? I mean, like, you know, white cannot go like this way, right? Because then they're going to lose the whole rook. So I thought this is just good. And then we just push. And they push. And now king b6. And I feel like this is really promising. I feel like that position is really promising. Or maybe it's not promising at all. Maybe it's not promising at all. Like they just play king here. And I go king here. Yeah, maybe this is just garbage. I go king here. Yeah, and I'm completely lost. I'm completely and utterly lost. So this is really poor. I just felt like this had to be an improvement. So what? What do we even do? Play king here? Push the pawn? Rook here? King here? Promote? Takes. And in this position, I guess the king is very far away. Oh, God. But this still looks dodgy. This still looks lost. Okay, I'm going to check chat. Aha, Dave, you're not Dave Arave from UCL. I see. I hope you be a GM one day. Chess Analysis Hub, thank you so much. I mean, let's see if we can get back to 2000. Let's see if we can get back to 2000 first, and then we'll talk about GM. But yeah, that would be cool. That would be very cool. Yeah, long way away. But yeah, pawns do not move backwards. They do not. I've been calculating this position the wrong way round. Literally, how long was I doing that? Oh god, the pawns are going. Guys, anyone for not following what was just happening? I was calculating this and this. And the pawn is going this way. I swear to god. I swear to god. Yo, I'm not gonna become a GM. I don't even know which way the pawns are going. Oh my god. How long did I waste there? 10 minutes of analyzing the wrong... Not even noticing which way the pawn's going? Okay. I really want to just see, like... Yeah, I guess I'm just completely lost then. Okay, no wonder it was so hard because I... For God's sake, that's unbelievable how I messed this up. Ah. Okay, so the first thing when you evaluate a position, make sure you know which way the pawns are going. That would help. Jesus Christ. No wonder I lost 24 points today. I'm not playing any more games. I'm not playing any more games today. Like I'm so out of it. I'm so out of it. I guess that's what happens when you don't have dinner. Like tragic. Yo, Josh. Okay, you missed out. You missed out. I spent like a good 10-15 minutes calculating this position. And I, for the whole time, thought the pawn was going this way and the pawn was going this way. And it's just the opposite way around. I want to die. I actually want to die. So yeah. But here it's black's turn. How do I... For God's sake. I just, like, I know this is completely pointless, but I just want to know. I just want to know, like, what the evaluation was. See, exactly. I literally got, like, the best try. I got the best try, and literally this is a draw. I'm so good at chess. And I get nothing because I just thought the board was going the wrong way. I swear to God. Oh, at least we got there. At least we got there. Like, but wait. So I thought this was drawing. King c5. That's so good. That's so good. Like, I thought that I had good drawing chances here, and then when I calculated again, I thought I was lost. But of course, king c5, half the sword of his king. What a move. What a fantastic move. And now, of course, yeah, because we gained all that time. I thought we gained time. Like, I thought I was going insane. Yep, and we are just in time to make... Oh no, because of rook b8. So what did I do wrong? Oh, of course. Yeah, and this is the move where basically here you have to go out in order to win. If you go in, you lose. If you go in, you lose. Yeah, I've literally studied this Dvoretsky endgame, so you have to go out and then you're able to promote. Oh man. Yeah, right? I think it's just like the starting position. It just looks like a position where white is going up. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why it looks that way, but it just does. It just does. I think the way that the king is supporting the pawn, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. My 1001 puzzle book is always white orientated, so my brain would not compute the other way. Exactly. Like, I don't know why. Yeah, I guess maybe just from puzzles or something. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, screw this exercise. We're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. For God's sake. I wish, like, because on chess.com, you actually have, like, comments on puzzles, and people would, like, rant about certain things. So it'd be cool if Lichess had comments. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. Screw that puzzle. Okay, let's do the next one. I haven't had dinner today, and there's a very tragic story behind this bag of cereal, which I'm not going to repeat, so for anyone joining the stream, you'll have to rewatch to find out. Okay, black to play. This time, we know that black is going up the board. Okay, no dispute. Okay, so evaluate the position, and then we'll have a think. Okay, so basically in this position, we're a whole rook down. However, our kings are extremely weak. So, one concrete factor about the position could change everything. We also have this beautiful passed pawn that's one square away from queening, but okay, white is in control of this queening square right now. So we need some candidate moves, and to me, just intuitively speaking, I mean, okay, the rook is being attacked, our king looks so weak, it feels like we basically need to do a check or some kind of threat, because any other move, even rook a3, it just feels a bit too tame. I mean, yeah, we're losing a queen, right? So the first candidate move for me was queen a4. I guess we should consider rook c4 as well. I feel like it has to be a check, to be honest. Unless it's to promote. Maybe promote is an option as well, because if they take our queen, maybe we can win. So maybe promoting if luring the rook away is a move as well. So we've got all of these moves, and I think my goal in this position would be to checkmate. Or at least have a resulting winning position. So queen a4 looks very promising, right? Because in this position it's very forcing. White either has to block, or block. Now, if they block with the queen, I actually think we're doing very well because we could play rook c4, skewering the queen. And even though we're rook down, I think we have very good chances there if we win back the queen. So I don't think they can block with the queen. If they block with the pawn, I wonder how insane is promoting. Like, does white have a way to attack? Because, I mean, yeah, any kind of threat is a bit too slow. So maybe that's good enough. And what if bishop moves? Probably the same, right? Because the thing is, if they take and we take, we basically still have, like, queen a1 ideas. Which look very strong. I mean, with the bishop on f4, then queen a4 is like a checkmate. And if it was like the pawn blocking instead, then just already queen h1 is already a mate. So it feels like queen a4 is extremely good. I'm just going to check the alternatives in case there's something that makes even more sense. I mean, this doesn't make any sense because then we can't bring the queen in with tempo. And promoting the pawn, it feels like, yeah, to give this up, probably, and we don't get queen a4, then this seems really hard. But this feels almost too easy. Like, what are we missing here? I think we have to go for it, though. Wow, and they just block with the queen. Interesting. So, rook c4. I mean, I guess, yeah, the other lines were just not working. So I guess candidate moves, we have rook c4, which in fairness could still be a fight, right? Like, black's king is so weak, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, white has some kind of compensation. So we definitely should have candidate moves here. So probably queening is definitely an interesting candidate move. But probably not enough, right? Like, if rook takes, queen takes, we are threatening queen h1. But are we, though? Maybe they can just play bishop e7. If we try and give a check, they can play king g5. Ah, no, they can't, because we can go queen h5 check, king f6. Yeah, we're probably doing very well there. So maybe promoting is interesting. I mean, what's potentially the problem with rook c4? I mean, rook c4 still feels so logical. I mean, I'm trying not to use the fact that it's a 2700 puzzle. Like, rook c4 feels too simple. But I'm just trying to understand. Like, it feels like both moves are actually promising. I mean, this one... I don't know. I really don't know. Rook c4, they cannot take, because then I would fork, and this is definitely very good. So, rook c4. What if maybe g3? Let's say they take, I take back, and they promote. This is still very good. What's wrong with rook c4? I feel like there's something wrong with it. Just don't know what. Let's say they block. Is that... No, that's awful. Yeah, this just looks completely good. Rook c4. Maybe rook f6. Like in rook f6, I can take and then promote. And this has to be winning again. Ah, rook c4 has to be winning. I'm gonna play it. Oh, I mean, it's definitely promoting the pawn. That's the only other move. But I just couldn't see why. It's not working. I mean, I realized that this is like seriously good as well. But it's just like, there feels like there's more potential for a defense here than rook c4. Rook c4 just looks completely over to me. So I'm missing something. I'm not going to check chat. I should really find this. Oh my god. I would play rook c4 in a game. And this is why calculation is so important. Because it doesn't matter what opening you play, how good your endgame technique is, what all of this nonsense. It's like, if you play rook c4, you will lose to a stronger player who can understand why rook c4 is wrong. Oh, why? Why is this not good? It looks so strong. Is it like some mating net somehow? I literally haven't a clue. There's no way this isn't winning. There's no way. This has to be a glitch. There's no way this isn't winning. Am I blind? What are you guys saying? Queen a4, bishop f4. Yeah, so that bishop f4? Yeah. Is there rook g6? Oh my god, look at your checks. I'm not looking at my checks. I did not consider a check. Nah, get out of town. Rook g6. You've got to be kidding me. Rook g6? If king h8, then there's bishop f6 check. Bishop blocks and bishop takes, king g8. Bishop back to f6, king f8. The hell is that? What the hell is that line? So rook g6, king h8. I feel like it's lost, but bishop f6 check. Bishop g7 forced. Bishop takes g7, king g8. What? Huh? Or is it like some perpet? Is there a perpetual there? Is that the point? Oh, God. Yeah, I'm definitely not playing a game of chess today. I can't see anything. I don't get this. What is the line after this? Bishop f6, bishop g7. I mean, I'm sure rook g6 is the move. I just don't I don't see. Bishop takes g7, king g8, and what's the follow up? I guess maybe there you can play queen takes, and rook back, and the point is you've got like 2 rooks and a bishop against queen and this pawn, and that's like enough to at least be drawing, maybe even winning. Right, so rook g6, and if pawn takes, you can go h7 check. Holy crap, king takes. This is the coolest comeback I've ever seen. And it was two 1700s that played this. There's no way this happened on the board. This is actually the coolest tactic I've ever seen. That's unbelievable. What an incredible save. I actually need to like... Can I save this somehow? This was actually the most amazing comeback. What a move. What an unbelievable move. Rook takes g6, saving grace. Oh my god. I can't believe it. So h7. We cannot take because of king g3. Note, not king g4. Because then there's always gonna be checks, and also the queen is pinned, right? So you need to unpin with check. Oh, and rook h8. Oh my god. Oh my god. If this happened to me, like, holy crap. Holy crap. I mean, this did happen to me. I literally played rook c4. I would be crying. I would be crying after this game. Oh my days. The king retreat after rook takes g6. h6, h7, king g3 is actually so cool, yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm walking home right now, so can't fully focus on calculating. The rook sack was just an intuitive idea. Insane. Insane. I mean, yeah. Yeah, like, gotta look at your checks and captures. So, I mean, these 1001 puzzle book is definitely paying off, Josh. That's great. Wow, rook g6. The pain, the actual pain of that move. Wow. I need to save this somehow. You know what? I think I'll just keep this puzzle open, and yeah, I'll keep this one open. I'll get my students to do it or something. That was such a cool puzzle. Holy crap. Okay. Let's do another one. And we're definitely not touching our puzzle streak given this form. Let's do one final one. One final one. I realize the training is over, but let's do one final one. Okay, so again, let's work out which way the pawns are going for starters. Okay, the pawns are going this way, this pawn is going this way. Black to play. Okay, so always when you see a new position, you must evaluate. So it's rook and 3 pawns against rook 1 and a bishop. That 1 pawn is not on the rook's file, otherwise we should be looking at ways to transition, if we wanted to draw, to just trade off the rook and the pawn. Not even a pawn. Basically, if they're left with a bishop and a pawn and you can put your king in the corner, this is a draw. So just little things like this you should take note of as well. So I think in this position, because we've got such a dangerous passed pawn, my ambition with our candidate moves and calculation would be to actually win. Like, is there a way I can actually win this position despite being a piece down? So candidate moves include pushing the pawn, maybe rook coming down, maybe rook takes bishop, maybe some tempo gaining move like g5. So okay, we've got these different moves. So of course the pawn push needs to be checked first because it's like a big threat. And how can white stop this? They can either use the bishop or they can use the rook. If they were to use the bishop, we could then bring the rook down, and this looks extremely promising. And yeah, I think, well, I guess we could promote and get this kind of situation where we play like rook and 2 against rook and 1. And I mean, this is the problem with these kind of puzzles, is because like, yeah, they're only considering like what's objectively best. And I guess if there is something objectively best, you need to find it. But from a human perspective, I would be happy, right, to play this position like rook and 2 against rook and 1, try and grind it out. Better than being a piece down, right? But then this may be wrong because it's a draw and we've actually got a win, right? So we can't like just go ahead and play it. And yeah, if they bring the rook down again, we've got this rook move that looks very promising. So okay, at the very least, we have more than a draw, a slightly better endgame. So that means because there's not like a time pressure, like if we had like 30 seconds, then of course we just play this. But since there's no clock, we should see if we can do better, right? So the better is actually, can we get a position that's even better than rook and 2 against rook and 1? So what else can we try? If we play rook down immediately, again, this doesn't really change much. They can always just play bishop here, sack the bishop for the pawn, so why wouldn't you just push the pawn in that case? So it's not going to be, this isn't going to be an improvement. If we take this and king takes and we try push, rook comes down and looks like we are in trouble. I mean, we could try take this pawn and play king and 2 against rook, but this is just really risky and probably lost. And then finally we had this g5 move to gain a tempo on the rook. Now this is kind of interesting. Because if the rook moves off the line, then we could take this pawn with check. And maybe these pawns storming forward are actually very promising. And if we give this attack and they try and stay on this pawn, well, here would be a very dodgy move because then we could push the pawn and they can't use the bishop to stop. And we know that on the rook stopping, we can play rook here, which is very good. So actually they can't go to e4. And let's say if they come to d4. Wait. Actually here, we can't take the pawn because the rook's on this side. But if we hit and the rook comes this side, when we push and they come here, we can actually take. Now we're getting somewhere. Our king's on the dark square, so there's not going to be any discovered attacks onto our rook. And that looks very promising. Maybe the king in 3, the fact that this pass pawn's so strong, I think this has to be it. I reckon g5's the move. I reckon we can play for a win. Oh my god. Oh my god. I bet it's gonna be bait. I bet it's just gonna be push to pawn. I'm gonna die. Oh, it's not even this? Oh, I'm just so bad. I'm just so bad. Oh, what? What? There's a move here? For God's sake. I guess f5 is a move. Really weird one though. Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, f5 is literally the only move that makes any sense to me right now. But let's say, I don't even know. Let's say they take it, take back the pawn, and they just play like bishop d5. Don't get it. Don't get it. Move order? h2, bishop e5, g5? g5 does something? g5, and if just rook f1? Then I guess now you take on g4? But how's that any different? Can't they just go like king d3 or something and it's just the same? So I believe you, Evgeny. Oh, that's not the move. Oh man. Okay, note to self. Note to self. Eat dinner. Eat dinner. Otherwise, you can't play chess. You cannot play chess. I don't get it. So you play rook here, and I don't get it. Like, let's say rook f2. Oh, it's so dirty. Oh my god. You take here and there's no time for this because you can take the bishop. Oh, this is unbelievable chess. This is unbelievable chess. And if I played g5? Oh, of course. I just missed rook f1 as a move. Even rook f2 is like something I missed. I just completely overlooked like this is a move. No, I didn't overlook this. I just thought that this would be winning. I mean, in fairness, it literally is except for one move. Like king d5, like, piss off. Piss off. I mean, it's literally just like really good chances. It's just really good chances. I wonder what table base has to say about this position. I'm gonna be really salty and get this up on table. Nah, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to get this up on table base. I don't know. I don't know. It just felt really good. It's like you can't calculate this any further. But I guess what you can calculate is h2 followed by g5. Nah, there's too many good looking moves there. Oh, that's so tough. That's so tough. Oh man, guys, this has just been a mess of a stream. I started off the stream, doing a puzzle where I got the pawns going the wrong way on the board. And I got the puzzle right, and I got it right if the pawns were going in the direction that I was saying, and it was still a hard puzzle. It took me 15 minutes to solve, and I got it wrong. I then got all of these puzzles wrong. And I haven't had dinner. This has been a mess. Lucas, welcome to the stream. This is going to be very confusing because there is a guy who often joins the streams and his username is Terrence and he's actually called Lucas. So Lucas, if you start joining these streams, it's going to be Lucas and Lucas, but Lucas called Terrence, and it's going to be a mess. But I'm glad to have you here. And yeah, what is the idea behind this 3739? Basically, I decided that I needed some motivation to train tactics and calculation, clearly, as you can see. And my idea was I would convert the number of subscribers I have to seconds and convert the seconds to minutes. And however many minutes that equals, I will train that amount of minutes each day. So, yeah, maybe no dinner is the problem, right? And this is exactly true. I mean, like... yeah, like if you want to play good chess, you need to look after your health, and if you don't, then you can expect to play some terrible chess. Like, it's really that simple, and yet so many of us neglect this. I mean, even at the top level, right? Like last year's candidates with Firouzja playing a bullet marathon against Naroditsky the night before playing Nepo, and obviously Firouzja blunders and loses to Nepo. Like, what do you expect? So yeah, this was the coolest resource ever. Yeah, we need to just get back on the board. So this was where I mean, I felt like this was winning, and then yeah, this resource, I just could not see for the life of me why rook c4 was wrong. And yeah, it was just this insane rook takes g6 that Josh found. This was just so cool, so unbelievable. King g3, like what a resource, like. This is why chess is on. Can they take? Or is this wrong? I feel like this should be right. Can I find checkmate? This has to be mate, right? Anyway, yeah, this is why chess is just beautiful. Like two random 1700s playing. Like they probably don't even know. They probably don't even know that this puzzle existed. Maybe I should message them and be like, by the way, guys, like that was this insane puzzle from your game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, equals 39. My Derbyshire Congress was a catastrophe because of lack of food and sleep. There we go. There we go. I mean, yeah, my biggest loss in FIDE rating last year was the Bristol Congress, and I literally had no sleep because I really didn't care about the chess, and I was too busy getting up to other things. So yeah, it was just so stupid. It was just so stupid. So yeah. What was your biggest loss of ELO in one tournament? Oh, there we go. Didn't even... I read your mind, Evgeny. So, yeah, no, I think probably Bristol maybe. But that whole month I got minus 70 because I had this bad, terrible tournament in Bristol, and then I had like a below average tournament in Menorca. Yeah, I also didn't play great chess in Menorca for some reason. I think I just got outplayed, to be honest. Like, I don't really have a good excuse. But yeah, so I got minus 70 in 1 month, which is pretty brutal to be honest. But yeah, guys, I am exhausted. I will try and fill up my fridge and get some food at some point. And I think we're gonna have to call it a day today. But I will see you guys all tomorrow. And yeah, thank you guys for following. I hope you found these puzzles interesting. And yeah, I'll catch you guys around. Adios.